As you awaken each morning, you are not simply emerging from sleep into a routine day. You are entering into a sacred purpose, a heavenly mission assigned specifically to you. Listen carefully to this truth. The spiritual dimension reacts to spoken words, not merely to unspoken thoughts or good wishes. The things you vocalize with faith shape the realities you encounter. The heavens have already issued their decrees and promises, yet it requires a faithful individual who grasps the concept of spiritual dominion to repeat and reinforce God's voice here on earth. Right now, I proclaim blessings upon you. This dawn will be far from mundane. Your movements throughout the day will carry significance and intention. Your path will be enveloped in supernatural safeguarding. Each proclamation you make at the start of the day acts as a binding judgment in the invisible spiritual world. You are on the verge of setting the tone for your surroundings. Design the framework of your hours ahead and direct your future by uttering the truths found in God's scriptures. Raise your voice boldly. Involve your deepest emotions and proclaim biblical promises with conviction and force. This practice goes beyond simple repetition. It functions as enacting laws in the Spirit. Engaging in prayer unleashes heavenly safeguarding in manners that go beyond logical human understanding. Prayer is far more than a traditional ritual or duty. It serves as an advanced spiritual mechanism that unlocks pathways to the unseen world, calling forth God's protective shield over your existence. When someone who follows God prays with genuine heart and in harmony with divine purposes, something profound occurs in the hidden realms. Invisible powers start to activate. Heavenly messengers, even those not specifically named in your requests, begin to act. The environments around you start to change, complying with eternal spiritual principles. Prayer serves as a bold proclamation from the faithful person to forces of evil, announcing that they do not travel, stand, or battle in isolation. It loudly states that the protection of the Most High has been activated, and any harmful plan directed against them must submit to superior heavenly power. God's safeguarding does not occur randomly or by luck. It is unlocked through active involvement in the Spirit. As individuals pray, they recognize the Lord as their primary guardian. This attitude of yielding opens space for celestial involvement. Prayer acts as a welcoming call that allows God's mighty arm to extend and guard his people from harm, ruin, and untimely threats. Countless risks go undetected and pass harmlessly. Numerous snares are broken apart before they can form. Many harmful attacks are deflected long before they reach you. All this happens because your prayers have preceded you, cleansing your surroundings and ensuring safety on your travels. Prayer releases a resonant signal into the spiritual domain, marking you as protected, sealed under divine agreement, and belonging to God. The forces of darkness understand these heavenly indicators clearly. Each occasion you seek God's protection through prayer, you construct an invisible barrier around yourself, building it gradually. This is no weak wall built on fleeting feelings. It is a strong stronghold made from God's unbreakable commitments, the redeeming sacrifice of Jesus and the dominion granted to you in him. Prayer binds these powerful components into an impenetrable defense against cruel spiritual assaults. Even when future threats are hidden from your view, prayer serves as your foresight. When schemes are being hatched in secret shadows without your knowledge, prayer stands as your safeguard. No one who believes endures the evils of this world merely by fortune. They endure because they instinctively refuse to start their day without spiritual covering. Prayer becomes the garment for your inner being, the protective gear for your emotions, the cloak that envelops every action you take. Someone committed to prayer brings a distinct spiritual environment wherever they go. There is a holy aroma that accompanies them. An undetectable yet real mark indicating God's nearness encircles them. Surroundings react to this divine aura. Those harboring ill will find themselves disoriented. Potential mishaps are averted. Hostile advances fade away. Hidden spiritual beings retreat, not due to your personal might, but because your prayers have drawn God's powerful presence closer. Wherever God manifests, threats lose their power. An individual who prays consistently becomes a portable holy place. a living demonstration of heavenly safety, one who bears God's consuming fire that repels approaching evil. Prayer additionally awakens sharpened intuition, yet another aspect of God's safeguarding. At times, protection involves not just halting threats, but revealing what to steer clear of. Prayer heightens your internal awareness, attuning your inner self to perceive cautions, gentle prompts, and course corrections that might otherwise be missed. You might find yourself postponing travel for no apparent reason, choosing an alternate path, declining an invitation, or withdrawing from a discussion, only to discover afterward that divine guidance spared you from danger. Prayer maintains your spiritual sensitivity active, stopping you from stumbling unknowingly into enemy setups. In prayer, you do more than request protection. You connect yourself to God's entire defensive framework. His written truths become your offensive weapon. His closeness becomes your defensive barrier. His messengers become your companions. Prayer engages all these elements at once. It builds your assurance, reminding you that you are encircled even in solitude, watched over even in unawareness, defended even in rest. A profound calm fills your being because prayer has transferred the conflict from your control to God's capable hands. You no longer enter the day anxious about potential troubles. You proceed with confidence, aware that celestial forces have prepared the way. In spiritual matters, remaining silent leaves you open to attack. A person of faith who does not speak out is vulnerable in the spirit, but one who prays is equipped and ready. Prayer informs evil forces that your existence is restricted territory. It secures your dwelling, your route, your thoughts, and your future. It calls upon the ever-watchful God who never rests to oversee your well-being. When the Lord keeps watch, no power from any dimension can surpass his alertness. Prayer renders you beyond reach of harm, steadfast and safe from daytime assaults or nighttime fears. Via prayer, you enter an unbreakable shelter and live beneath the Almighty's overshadowing, completely safe, guarded, and maintained. To proclaim over your day with dominion means embracing the initial commission God gave mankind to dominate, conquer, and oversee creation using spoken words. Each new day presents itself as a blank slate filled with both obvious and hidden potentials. It reacts primarily to your vocalized statements rather than your deeds. What you utter upon waking forms the unseen structure influencing the coming hours. True dominion is not loud chaos, it is harmony with God's established order. When your words flow from that harmony, heaven supports and empowers them. Situations bend, environments transform, and hidden powers realign according to the pattern of your faith-filled confessions. Your spoken words are far more wreath and vibrations in the air. They function as instruments, armaments, planted seeds, and enforceable rules in the spiritual sphere. If you awaken and stay quiet, you permit the day to set the agenda first. Whatever initiates the dialogue claims control. But when you stand up and proclaim, when you prophesy over the day, you establish yourself as the primary authority, determining what is allowed and what is prohibited. You infuse vitality into the upcoming moments, creating limits that evil cannot breach and awakening potentials that would stay inactive without your voice. Dominion is unleashed when inner convictions turn into outward expressions. Beliefs gain substance through declaration. Proclaiming over your day acknowledges that every 24 hours brings its unique conflicts, chances, and spiritual interactions. Not all days begin calmly, and ease is not guaranteed daily. Yet the individual aware of spiritual dominion remains undaunted by uncertainties. They position themselves as guardians of the Spirit, announcing that this day will conform to God's desires, synchronize with eternal goals, and deliver blessing rather than harm. Your day is not an untamed power beyond control. God invites you to mold it through your proclamations. The supernatural realm activates through voice, and the physical world responds to it. Releasing appropriate words allows you to direct both dimensions simultaneously. Dominion originates from knowing your true self. Bold speech comes from identity awareness. The spiritual world pays attention when words emerge from recognition of your heavenly status. When proclaiming over your day, you are not begging creation to cooperate. You are directing as God's authorized representative. You are not attempting to persuade evil. You are broadcasting judgments already confirmed in heaven. Therefore, morning affirmations should be deliberate commands, not soft mutterings. Address your thoughts directly. Command your feelings. Proclaim over your tasks and chances. Speak to your surroundings. Just as Jesus addressed tempests and fig trees with authority, you are summoned to address time periods and life phases similarly. Proclaiming with dominion over your day disrupts enemy schemes formed overnight. Evil thrives in quietness, but your voice reveals and eradicates its intentions. Declaring that no device fashioned against you will succeed is not poetry. It is enforcing a spiritual order that compels concealed conspiracies to collapse. Proclaiming that kindness and compassion pursue you calls forth heavenly attendance for every encounter, choice, and location. Speaking blessing into your day triggers otherworldly impact that unlocks opportunities without needing human approval. Your tongue directs your future like a rudder guides a ship, steering toward God's plans. Exercising dominion also involves not allowing current emotions to control your words. Though weakness is felt, declare power. Despite uncertainty, proclaim understanding. Even under pressure, speak tranquility. Emotions vary, but true dominion stays steady. You proclaim spiritual realities, and emotions eventually align. This reflects mature faith, choosing to match your speech to God's truths over momentary feelings. Consistent proclamations bring manifestation because dominion grows through persistence. When proclaiming over your day, you inform the surrounding atmosphere that disorder, diversion, and harmful influences are unwelcome. You establish invisible limits blocking mental pollution. You reinforce your inner being's purpose, your emotion steadiness, and your physical vitality. You place yourself beneath celestial protection, ensuring every movement receives spiritual approval. Morning words act as sentinels at the entrances of your screening entries and deciding developments. Proactive proclamation holds enigmatic strength. Existence treats proactive speakers differently. Do not await problems before declaring calm. Proclaim calm, denying problems entry. Speak insight before bewilderment arises, dissolving it. Declare entry before barriers form, causing them to open. This defines the life of dominion, foreseeing hidden things, directing unknowns, molding the day before it molds you. Proclaiming with dominion influences not just time but eternal purpose. Each statement generates forward motion. Every announcement creates harmony. Each truth uttered invites heavenly structure. You awaken not as a bystander, but as a spiritual leader enacting laws, forming, guiding, and reigning via words infused with divine essence. This enables believers to navigate days protected, strengthened, alert, and dominant as their proclamations have cleared paths. Seeking divine power, understanding, and appointed assistance recognizes that no one ascends solely through personal striving. Certain life levels cannot be reached via intellect, self-control, or ambition alone. Some loads overwhelm the mind, phases confound natural instinct, paths demand more than solo stamina. Humbling oneself to request these blessings unlocks areas of heavenly enablement unattainable by human effort. Power sustains your inner being amid overwhelming circumstances. Understanding illuminates proper routes in doubtful times. Appointed assistants are individuals through whom God provides concrete aid. Requesting these admits reliance on God, while positioning for extraordinary help, transcending human bounds. Power is not lacking frailty, it is heavenly strengthening, turning frailty into ability. Times come when the inner self tires, emotions weaken, life's demands feel like constant crushing force. Then self-motivation fails, optimistic. Thoughts prove brittle. Inner toughness breaks under ongoing stress. But requesting God's power invites His Spirit to infuse you with stamina beyond human origin. It ignites an unquenchable inner flame defying hardship, supernatural energy keeping you upright amid temptations to collapse. It provides silent bravery to persist, favor to maintain faith, firmness to advance. Heavenly power holds you above expected breakdowns, testifying God bore you through trials not meant for solo survival. Understanding serves as destiny's guide. Existence offers countless crossroads, choices, routes appearing alike yet leading to vastly different ends. Lacking understanding, promising pursuits prove harmful. Time and heart invested in draining connections waste potential. Unseen divine intent amid life's clamor leads to self-sabotage. Seeking understanding requests heavenly perception, spiritual sharpness, viewing circumstances as God does. It exposes lies, quietly directs, discerns protecting from needless conflicts. It graces choices, preserving rather than destroying purpose. Understanding places you where blessing abounds. Chances synchronize. Heavenly timing shines. It stops premature or delayed moves, aligning actions with celestial motion. Appointed assistants embody God's plan for progress. No one climbs solo. Even highly capable need others' involvement for ordained heights. They bring unavailable elements, entry, sway, advice, motivation, provisions, connections. God designates them to support during weariness, unlock inaccessible entries, advocate in unreachable places, guard unseen threats, launch into exceeding chances. Seeking them acknowledges interconnected journeys, some temporary companions, others lifelong. These divinely arranged bonds accelerate advancement. Impossibilities ease, hold up, shatter, inertia ends. Life quickens as heavenly sent individuals fulfill role. Requesting power, understanding. Assistance fosters humble maturity, declaring personal limits against God's boundless supply. Prayer bridges human inadequacy to divine abundance. These requests create attraction, pulling heavenly participation daily. Peace arises knowing solitary paths are shared. Heaven engages your path. God's closeness encircles. His Spirit directs thinking. Divinely influenced people bless and elevate. Manifestations reveal no accidents. Renewed power, granted insights, sent assistance signal God's deep commitment to your purpose. Proclaiming triumph and abiding in God's closeness means living aware conflicts do not define you. His proximity does. Triumph is not pursued or awaited. It is summoned through declaration, knowing your ally. Faithful individuals proclaiming triumph. Pre-evidence access realms where belief alters results. God's closeness forms reality. Spiritual prophecy is not hopeful talk. It releases heavenly purpose via human speech. Proclaiming triumph commands circumstances to yield to God's authority, not describes them. Life moments contradict promises. Obstacles tower, uncertainty murmurs, conflicts intensify unexpectedly. Yet those grasping prophetic power refuse natural sight's intimidation. They arise inwardly, proclaiming triumph amid stress, breakthrough amid stagnation, freedom amid trials. This enforces spiritual reality, not denies visible. Triumph is God's. Prophecy delivers it earthward. Proclaiming triumph denies enemy narrative control, muting fear, loss, immobility, impossibility voices. It states warfare, fierceness cannot alter heaven's set outcomes. Such speech disrupts evil plans' pre-manifestation, breaks setups, nullifies adverse judgments. Words become sacred tools, forming paths, piercing barriers, calling aid. Inspired prophetic words echo across dimensions until fulfillment. Triumph exceeds conflict, end. Ours promised fullness, enabled by God's closeness. God's closeness is ongoing divine friendship in all situations, assuring no solitude, desertion, unaided navigation, abiding in it. Life's darkness cannot dominate, light exposes, changes, guides. Awareness alters thinking, speaking, reacting. Issues lose menace knowing omnipotent companionship. Dread vanishes in divine confidence. Cultivating awareness renders unshakable not personal strength, but accompaniment. God's walk transforms mundane to extraordinary, impossible to achievable. Entries open unexpectedly. Resolutions defy reason due to his closeness. Abiding means submitting to guidance, allowing thought direction, decision influence, response shaping. Heart tuned to his quiet voice makes closeness guide, guard, discern, shield from hidden perils, illuminate. Dangers. Many avoided fights won because closeness rerouted steps, blocked evil advance. Closeness actively defends, not passively accompanies, merging prophetic. Triumph with closeness awareness renders spiritually invincible, from reacting to governing life. Proclaim triumph, watch conflicts yield. Walk boldly knowing Senkan. Steps testify companionship, declarations witness own triumph. Intimate depths speak from revelation, not desperation knowing triumph. As author, abiding discovers nearness as guard, understanding power. Speaking, walking, moving through appointed days prompts heavenly response, earthly alignment. Spiritual recognition, triumph becomes lifestyle, not rare, prophetic from closeness, sustained by power, guided by hand, secured by agreement, asserting extraordinary blessing. And unlocked entries enters realms where divine sway advocates unheard places. Blessing is not chance. It is God's pleasure visibly on lives, asserting, aligns with available spiritual truth, not uncertain please. Blessing flows divine aid carrying beyond solo effort, unseen. Heavenly approval, turning hearts, drawing chances, shifting results favorably, even unfavorable settings. God sent, elevates, remembered, accepted amid others' fall. Forgetfulness, rejection. Asserting declares life unbound by natural bounds, human forecasts, societal norms, circumstance definitions. Blessing, exceptions, protocols, overcomes opposition, places grace alone positions. Resting blessing opens unintended entries, creates non-existent paths. Appropriate individuals notice, resources synchronize, environments favor. Blessing marks divinely carried. Morning blessing declarations summon advancing spiritual powers. Immovable situations soften, unheard discussions favor, unmotivated aid compels. Mystery, heart influence without coercion, positioning without struggle, results beyond strategy. Blessing echoes God through human choices. Unlocked entries manifest claimed blessing. Spiritual doors symbolize access to chances, stages, bonds, advances, phases. Opening shifts purpose. Some doors resist intellect, connection, action, striving, guarded spiritually, opposed, delayed. Claiming blessing activates superior power, unlocking closed. God opens unshuttable, unblockable, unhindered entries, disguised encounters, invitations, breakthroughs, alignments. Claiming announces stagnation, powerless, limits temporary, divine entry prepared. Open doors advance and elevate, alter surroundings, broaden sway, connect next level necessities. Supernatural doors bring new heights, duties, favor, exposure, unclosable by opposition. Claiming is active spiritual stance requiring trust in goodness, bold speech. Proclaim presight, confess amid apparent stillness, declare despite contradiction. Blessing response, faith speech, doors prophetic words. Proclaiming surrounding blessing strengthens heavenly engagement. Declaring opening issues, unavoidable spiritual commands. Abiding blessing on. Does stand sustenance beyond human approval. Divine breath places unrejectable. Blocks bypassed, locks unlocked, hidden paths lit. Blessing prevents stranding, journey unbound by human limits. Unlocked doors usher acceleration. Years compress months, impossibilities naturalize. Hold-ups weaken, barriers lighten, waiting births, obscurity emerges, potential impacts. Claiming declares divine governed life, blessing covered, grace pathed. Speaks heaven supported, purpose aligned, breakthrough locating reality. Persistent declaration, living expectation turns life testimony of resting blessing and unclosable open doors. Soul awakening to Christ. Self stirs inner atmosphere holy. Identity found upward to designer, redeemer, namer, not inward weaknesses or outward opinions. Spiritual identity redefines stance, bravery, anticipation, daily walk. Establishing Christ's self raises inner boldness, from weakness negotiation to throne confidence. Understand, not hopeful wanderer, but intentional child, graced, spirited, above ordinary. Declaring Christ self aligns inner with heavenly judgment. Heaven redeems amid life-broken calls, victorious amid defeat whispers, chosen amid past accusations. Agreed voice shapes walked reality. Spiritual dominion starts established identity. Accepting heavenly seating stops bowing intended subordinates. Shrinking shine places anointing apologies. Inner spirit, not passive, quiet, weak, raised Jesus, entered for formidability, not timidity. Darkness, intimidation, answered Christ's dominion. Identity, dominion, inseparable. Doubt weakens. Enemy exploits confusion, questioning worth, call, family, place. Establish Christ identity loosens lies. Stand verdict known pre-battle. Speak heaven-backed. Move enforcing blood-sealed. Unconditional love raises sacred confidence, stabilizing identity. Accepted beloved defies rejection. Grace righteousness frees condemnation. Christ mind bars confusion. Christ identity spiritual position. Praying, fighting, expecting, decreeing from. Heir inside kingdom, not outside beggar. Christ dominion waits words. Speech recognized, sealed, voice, do him in you. Adversary fears not personality, learning, feelings, trembles Christ, glory, hope, aligned identity, speech legislates spiritually, command. Atmospheres shift phases, quiet tempests, dismantle dread, summon divine will. This dimension requires rejecting false tattoos, trauma labels, environment limits, failure, fear, forgeries. Christ blood rewritten, forgiven, strengthened, selected, anointed, super conqueror. Carry dominion, carrying name above opposing. Revelation identity alters posture, holy assured walk, partnering prayer, overshadowed challenge facing, aware heavenly accompaniment everywhere. Touch passes surrounder, threat answers, protector covenant, settling revelation births divine conscious living, reign over survive, govern over react, declare over fear, in Christ, Christ in, unchallengeable identity, unsilenceable flowing dominion, truth gently anchoring deep confidence. No life accident, journey oversight, purpose unsupported, enveloped unfailing love, unweakening grace, unwithdrawing guidance, accompanied steps, witnessed breaths, known battles by owner caller. Moment identity exceeds words, living realm, dominion exceeds concept, carried atmosphere, forward quiet bold, resting true self, not striving proving. Prior weights lift, confusions clear, whispering fears silence, truth light, spirit fresh aware, never alone, abandoned, helpless. Heaven, breath close, form of faithful completes begun, daily enter calm, aligned purpose strength, graceful, seen love, strengthened movement, peace mental surround. Continuing steady, confident, glory awakened, Christ self journey.